Welcome, everyone. Let's just jump right into this explainer. Today we're tackling something every single homeowner in the Chicago area thinks about, but, rarely actually understands until it's a full-blown emergency. Yep, we're talking about the roof over your head. Specifically, we're diving deep into the Patriot Roofing Guide to protecting Norridge homes from some truly extreme weather. Because let's face it, our winters, they pull absolutely no punches. If you want to know exactly what your house is up against and how to definitively protect it, well, you're in exactly the right place.
Take a look at that number right there, 100. Now, that's not just some random statistic we pulled out of thin air. That is actually the number of punishing freeze-thaw cycles that Norridge roofs endure every single winter. I mean, just think about what that actually means for the materials protecting your home, right? Going from frozen solid to completely thawed out over 100 times in just a few short months, it's a brutal environment. And it's exactly why understanding these specific local climate challenges is absolutely essential, both for your peace of mind and, let's be real, for your wallet.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Norridge weather threat. 2. Spotting common roof problems. 3. Repair or full replacement. 4. The three-phase roofing process. And finally, number 5, decoding local building codes.
All right, let's get into Section 1, the Norridge weather threat, battling the Chicago climate.
So Norridge sits right in the heart of Cook County's freeze-thaw zone. And we aren't just talking about cold weather here. We are talking about extreme temperature swings. Bitter cold snaps followed by these sudden thaws cause constant, relentless expansion and contraction. Over time, this microscopic, repetitive movement basically breaks down your asphalt shingles. It forcefully opens up the flashing seams around your chimneys and vents, and it puts some severe stress on the underlying roof structures. Add in the straight-line winds from those wild spring thunderstorms and heavy snow loads, well, you've got a perfect recipe for rapid aging.
Now, one of the absolutely most dangerous, specific threats to our region is the ice dam. And listen, this isn't just a row of icicles looking pretty hanging off your gutters. An ice dam forms when poor attic ventilation actually allows heat from your house to escape straight through the roof deck. That escaped heat melts the snow, which runs down to the freezing cold eaves and refreezes. Boom, you've got a solid block of ice right behind your gutters. As more snow melts, that water literally has nowhere to go but up, creeping under your shingles and straight into your wall cavities. It's a highly destructive cycle, and it's fueled directly by the weather outside and your home's internal temperatures inside.
Moving right along to Section 2, spotting common roof problems, agitation, and symptoms.
Okay, so you really need to know what to look for before water is literally dripping onto your living room couch. Take a look at these critical warning signs. First off, if you check your gutters and see a buildup of those sandy granules, that's a massive red flag. Asphalt shingles usually lose those protective granules after about 15 to 20 years of sun and weather exposure. Without them, the shingles start curling up, cracking, and just getting super brittle. You should also look up at your ridge caps. Those are incredibly vulnerable to straight-line summer winds. And hey, if you have a home near Eisenhower Park with lots of mature trees, definitely watch out for deteriorated valley flashing where leaves and moisture love to get trapped. And of course, the ultimate, undeniable symptom is a water stain on your interior ceiling. If you see that, well, the damage has already breached your home's defenses.
Which brings us to Section 3, repair or full replacement, the decision point.
So this is the moment where you really have to weigh a quick emergency repair against a full-on replacement. Emergency repairs are highly targeted. Like if you have a sudden active leak from a massive spring storm, a crew can come in, slap on some temporary tarps, patch torn shingles, or maybe fix a punctured membrane. It essentially stops the immediate bleeding. But, and this is a really big but, when your roof decking is actually showing structural damage, or if that granule loss and shingle failure is widespread across the entire surface, honestly, repairs at that point are basically just throwing good money away. A full tear-off and replacement down to the wooden deck becomes the only logical long-term solution to actually guarantee your home's safety.
Let's look at Section 4, the three-phase roofing process, the Patriot solution.
Let's see how a structured approach can actually build a stress-free experience for you. Patriot breaks this whole thing down into 3 exact phases, so absolutely nothing is left to chance. Phase 1 is inspection and planning. And they don't just, eyeball the roof. They actually use thermal imaging within 48 hours to find hidden moisture damage in your insulation that the naked eye just can't see. Then we have Phase 2, installation and quality control. This means replacing damaged plywood immediately and laying down crucial ice barriers before a single shingle even goes on. And finally, Phase 3 is the final inspection and cleanup. And I'm talking incredibly thorough details here, like daily magnetic sweeps across your lawn, because nobody wants to find a stray nail with their lawnmower a month later, right?
Now, when it comes to replacement, the absolute biggest anxiety homeowners have is usually, how long is this going to disrupt my daily life? Well, looking at the timeline, a standard residential roof replacement usually only takes 1 to 3 days to install, depending on the complexity of your roof and, of course, the weather. The inspection happens fast, typically within 48 hours. Then after signing the contract, you're looking at about 1 to 2 weeks for material delivery. It's a surprisingly tight, efficient window when it's being handled by pros who really know what they're doing.
Almost done. Section 5. Decoding local building codes, the ultimate local authority.
You might not know this, but Illinois and Cook County codes are strictly designed to counter Norridge's exact weather threats. The state mandates a Class A fire rating, which is the absolute highest resistance available. And because of those severe summer storms we were talking about earlier, materials literally must meet ASTM standards to resist 110-mile-per-hour winds. To do that, they actually require fastening 6 nails per shingle in high wind zones. And hey, remember those ice dams we discussed? The code legally requires a waterproof ice barrier to be installed along all eaves extending at least 24 inches inside the exterior wall line. Think of this code as your ultimate local authority, basically ensuring your roof is built tough enough to survive the environment.
But here's the thing, the code doesn't just stop at the surface. It also mandates proper attic ventilation. You absolutely must have balanced intake ventilation at the soffits and exhaust ventilation up at the ridge. Why? Well, because as we discussed earlier, unbalanced ventilation allows heat to build up in your attic, and that causes the exact moisture rot and destructive ice damps we are trying so hard to prevent. So, upgrading your ventilation during a replacement, it's not just a nice-to-have upgrade, it is a code-compliant necessity for the true longevity of your roof.
Which finally brings us to the ultimate question. We've seen the 100 freeze-thaw cycles, we've walked through the warning signs, and we've looked at the rigorous standards required to protect a home in Norridge. So, think about your own home right now. Is your roof truly ready for the next freeze-thaw cycle? Or are those granules already sitting out there in your gutters? Don't wait for the water to breach your ceiling, guys. Use the information in this explainer to take a proactive look at your home's very first line of defense. Catch you next time.